Unit 6, gas laws. So this unit is just going to be 2 lessons. The first lesson is gas law and the behavior of gases. And the first thing we're going to study is the property of gases. So understanding gases helps us predict their behavior in everyday situations, aka why they do what they do, why do tires inflate, why do our lungs breathe, all those kind of things. So, one of the things that's important is how gases differ from liquids and solids, and they do this in several important ways. The first one is their compressibility. So, gas particles are far apart, so gases can be compressed into a smaller volume. Liquids and solids, you can press on them, they're not going anywhere. Push on your desk, right? Whereas you take a gas and you can kind of squeeze it into whatever shape or size that you want it to be. The second thing is their ability to expand. So at higher temperatures, particles move faster and the gas will expand. Whereas at lower temperatures, particles move slower and the gas contracts. Okay. We'll talk about this a little bit more when we talk about the effect of temperature on pressure and stuff like that. But the key thing is just think about you're putting energy into the particles. They're moving faster. They want to spread apart. And so I always picture a balloon being heated and the fact that the balloon will get bigger when it's heated and it'll get smaller when it's cooled. The next one is their fluidity. So gas particles move freely and flow easily, so they will spread out to fill any container. You know, you can take the same amount of gas and put it into a small ball, and then you can put the same amount of gas and put it in a bigger ball, and it'll just spread out to fill it. It may not inflate it fully, but it will spread out and fill the space. The next thing is that they have very low density. Because the particles are super far apart, you can have low mass per volume. So the best way to explain this is that gases are measured in grams per liter, whereas liquids and solids, when we're talking about density, we measure it in grams per milliliter. And then the last thing is that gases mix awesomely, right? They mix evenly and completely because they're in constant motion. The other thing, this is just a good thing to point out, is that don't forget about your diatomic elements. So some elements exist naturally as pairs of atoms. That is hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, and iodine. There's a number of ways you can remember this. There's a mnemonic, which is the Hofbrinkel. There's have no fear of ice cold beer. And then there's my favorite. I just gonna go get my periodic table. So the way that I remember them is that I'm often trying to source these out on a periodic table. So I always go H and then NOF and then down. So, I don't know why it stopped writing for me. There we go. Chlorine, bromine, and iodine. So my diatomics, anytime I go to my periodic table and I'm looking up, I don't know, molar mass or something like that, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm talking about oxygen. That's part of my HNOF blah. So there's lots of different ways for you to remember which ones are your diatomics, but just don't forget them. Awesome.